Blonde bombshell belief. B3. Blonde bombshell belief. Hello, hello, my blonde bombshellers. Forgive the look. I just got done working out. I wanted to do some Dear Bombshell questions that were funny, and I needed to be uplifted. So I'm also going to, at the end of the video, touch on Grandma's situation as well as the holiday situation. So that's something y'all want to stay tuned for. Will I be singing tonight? I don't think so. However, I just thought it was very cool that I could come to you and do a late night video after a workout. And then I'm probably going to try and watch a quick movie after I've done my housework, which I've done most of it. All I have to do is hang up the laundry. Yay! Anyway, let's go with this first dating dilemma. It's kind of cute. The dating dilemma is the guy asks if he can order for her right off the bat. I guess he doesn't really ask. It's just when the waitress comes and says, hey, I want to take your order, and he's like, okay, I'll order for both of us. Is that cool? I'm kind of cutting down and condensing the questions because I'm a little tired. I would say, I'm on a restricted diet. I apologize. I can't eat everything. I do want to order for myself, or I can't have this and this and this. Is it okay? I would kind of hope, though, that before you go out on your date that you have explained to him that you're on a restricted diet. That's what it was. That they were on a restricted diet, and they didn't know how to tackle this situation if the man would say that he wants to order for both of them. If it's the first date, I honestly don't see that happening. I would say just roll with the flow. And if he does order something that you can't have, I've learned this. You want to eat half and leave half on the plate, and then that way you can say that you did eat something that he had. So it's not being rude, it's just trying to show that you're willing to be giving. I got a great one, a compliment actually. One of my friends recently asked me a couple of videos back if she should take a risk with the guy that she was wanting to date because he was in a risky field. Not cornfield. He was just in a risky field profession-wise. And it was nice to see that the advice I gave her, she did take the leap of faith, and they are dating. Happy for that. Another blonde bombshell question. Now this one is kind of quirky. Excuse me, I am not tired. Anyway, the blonde bombshell question was, and I quote, bombshell, is it okay to go fishing in the dark? And what does he mean by, quote unquote, picking up, what is that word? Picking up the worms, but night crawlers. That's what those are. Those aren't worms, they're night crawlers. And you go around with a flashlight looking for those usually at night before you go fishing in the dark. Now, like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band song says, men have other ideas. They all don't think with the right head, so you have to be careful when you go fishing in the dark. You know what I'm saying here? Okay, good. I'm really tired. Goodness, I gotta stop saying this. I want to go ahead and I think that's enough for the Dear Bombshell tonight. I've tried to be a little funny and quirky, but I'm really tired, so I'm gonna have to cut it short. We're gonna get the grandma situation. Wednesday was my day off. We had a really great day. The therapist came in and gave us news that they wanted to schedule a walk-in because they wanted to send grandma home. It's like really great news, right? Well, then the doctor came in after speaking with a therapist, after reviewing the notes, gave us the same information that, yes, in 2 weeks, on August 3rd, because they asked grandma when would she be like to go home, and she pointed to me and said, her birthday, August 3rd. And Dr. Michael said, I agree. Well, it's funny how time can pass and things can change so quickly. At this point, Friday came along, and the head therapist and the head nurse got it in their fool little harebrains that she can't go home August 3rd, basically. And not only that, they embarrassed her in therapy, saying that she wasn't doing as good as what those therapists said, which that gets me. If the head therapist is saying that she's not doing good, aren't you calling all the therapists that are under you liars? I just don't understand that. And I know she's got congestive heart failure, so exercise is important. Don't get me wrong. However, if the doctor is told and read the reports, you coming in saying, I did not give that okay, is not cool. To take that away from her after all the hard work she has come so far, I think that's awful. I think that it's mean, and I'm just so sick and tired of this year. I took some photos after the news came down, because when I got off of work last night on Friday, I caught World War III from Grandpa. And he was just basically like going, I don't like that place, and so I had to ask around our family and ask, okay, really what went on. Basically, there's been a complaint against my grandfather. Now, here we go again. They've been married going on 71 years in September, and there's a complaint filed. They didn't say who, but of abuse. Again, if you are married 71 years, I don't think you're abused. She does have a hole in her eardrum. She does have very hard hearing. And we just recently did get her fitted for hearing aids. So that's really cool. And those hopefully will be in very soon. But they started this new wrapping procedure on her legs, which was their Wednesday thing, after he said, okay, you know what, we're going to up the Lasix again. And then we're going to start the wrapping procedure on her leg, and then eventually she'll have Velcro over her legs. But walk, walk, walk. Again, I disagree with having all these little physical therapists. If you can't have one, and that one tell you the way it is, and report to the doctor, not be all of a sudden popping in. She knew that doctor was in the building because she was in that room when my grandmother was doing physical therapy. So yes, I do have issues with her. I did call the social worker this morning, Samantha, and we had a great talk. And I voiced all my concerns, because I'm going to be working Monday and I won't be there for the meeting that they scheduled without asking. They just said, this is the time of the meeting, you will be there. That wasn't right, nor was it cool. I also addressed my concerns with the nurses, where my grandfather was concerned, because he was just trying to help her sit down in her chair and adjust her blanket. All the time she's cold, so he tries to get the blanket up around her usually. And he had trimmed her nails. One was too short because she has a habit of not only talking too much, imagine that, but kind of shaking and moving. And so he trimmed one too short, and of course she let out like bloody murder, and they basically told him that he couldn't trim their nails anymore, which that bothered him. And the whole situation is just sad. But all I can do is ask you all for prayers. I was very bitter last night, and if I hadn't had that talk today with not only her nurse on duty, Kelly, but her, I guess you'd call it, care partner, Opal, as well as another wonderful care partner, Sasha, I don't think that I would be able to come to you tonight and do any Dear Bombshells or anything else. So I'm very grateful for that. I feel like now my voice has been spoken, and that hopefully those things that I wanted to address, because to me you shouldn't schedule a walkthrough like therapy did and then take it away knowing that she may not come home right away. They told us in the beginning they scheduled a walkthrough and then a week later you go home. Well, now we don't even know if there's going to be a walkthrough, because they told her how horrible she's doing, but yet the other therapist told her how great she's doing. It's like, make up your mind already, you know? It's hard for me to talk about, so if I get choked up every once in a while, please forgive me. It's kind of cute. She goes through this spell where she doesn't understand about going outdoors for the heat today. I mean, we went and got her another funnel cake, second funnel cake, from Bagel Fest, and she's like, I want to go outside with my friends, and I want to see the outdoors. Well, in the 170-degree heat, you have no business being outdoors. So we had to tell her, no, you're not going outdoors. So we didn't do that, but we had a good time visit. It was really cool, actually. And I don't know, it's a different situation to be in. And of course, there's that topic again. She said that she had, or Grandpa said, well, she'd done passed away and I was there to help save her. And, then Grandma was like, I came back for Donna to get married. It's not too far off. And I'm always like, I'm at the point, we'll just switch over now to me. I would love to get married. I would love to have children. But let's be realistic. I'm going to be older. I hate that word. Okay, don't hate. I strongly detest that word. I'm also wiser, I guess you would say, because I don't take a lot of heart chances anymore. And you all know, if there was a chance in hell, I'd work things out with him. And I'm not going to say that name, but all I'm going to say is I'm not holding my breath. Now, I did have a weird dream last night, and I thought I would tell you about it because, it's always fun to share that kind of stuff with you all. I had this weird dream. I was in the delivery room. Now, this is weird, okay? Strange. I was in the middle of labor. And I'm like, hoo, he, and all that good stuff. And my doctor is Dr. Horvat. Now, how strange is that? Because she's the only gynecologist I trust. And she's like, you're doing so good, and you got this, and keep up. And I'm like, give me the drugs. Give me drugs. She's like, honey, we're past that. It's too late. You should have thought of that earlier. And about that time, I'm like, I want my husband in here now. And I look down, and I see the cutest little daisy ring on my finger. And which is weird, because I just read that book, Wildflower Wedding, by Luann McCall. I think it's McCall. Anyway, the Wildflower Wedding book. And in the end of the book, she has not a diamond, because she didn't like diamonds, just a wildflower that was not an actual wildflower, okay? But it was a wildflower that was encased in diamonds, but nothing too showy. But I looked down and I said, where the heck is my husband? And they're like, he's busy, he's on his way. And I'm like, he's on his way? That doesn't cut mustard. I said, you better call stat or whatever these words are used in the medical field, but get his behind in here. And about that time, the doors come open, and he's dressed in full gear. And he's like, okay, we're going to have those twins. Spread those thighs. Get those things going. Let's hoo-hoo-hee-hee and get those suckers on out. And I woke up this morning. I couldn't see the guy's face, but it was kind of comical in a way, but I don't know. I had to share it with you. Always this time of year, I have quirky dreams. I mean, I've had so many dreams lately, and usually they don't come true. So I just don't put any faith in them anymore, hardly. And I just try to keep my chin up and move on. Now, to the holiday plans. I'm going to get my hair done at 2 o'clock. That's right, 2 o'clock. And then, somewhere in between all that, I'm going to have dinner with my family, which we've actually come to a weird understanding that Grandma's going to go out to eat, which I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not now, because everything's up in the air. And they do have a family room there at Mattoon Healthcare, so we could have the little, dinner there. After all, my big plans are come home and watch Tammy and the Millionaire. It's an old movie, and I'm a big old movie buff. And she's a farm girl, and she falls in love with a millionaire. This one, I think I've seen it when I was about 8, but it's been a long time, so I'm really anxious to watch that movie. So I'm waiting until my birthday to give me something to look forward to. I was hoping to watch it with Grandma and Grandpa because I remember, which is weird, I had the first 3 Tammy movies, which was Tammy and the Bachelor, Tammy Tell Me True, and Tammy and the Doctor. And somehow or other, I lost that DVD that had 3 movies on it. No clue where it went. Don't know what happened to it. And I'm going to have to get that DVD that has all 3 movies again somehow. Let's see. But do I have any other plans? No. Of course I have hopes and dreams. But I've got to be realistic. I'm getting older. Everything doesn't always happen the way we want. Even I've had to give a speech lately to several people that, I would love to be married. I would love to have my kids. But right now I'm just thinking about adopting. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a strong, tough girl, and I can do it on my own. So, I think after so many heartbreaks, you just don't want to try again, and you don't want to trust again, and you get scared. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I do know that I'm getting older now, and no matter what dream I have, it doesn't always come true. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off for tonight. I don't know when I will see you again, but if I have some more major news concerning Grandma or Grandma's update of her health care, you guys will know about it. Now it's time for a little blonde bombshell time, which means I'm going to go watch a movie. Love you all. Good night.